Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to some more Dragon Ball FighterZ content. Today, we're going to be talking about Dragon Ball FighterZ. That's right, I know last time we talked about a possibility of Dragon Ball FighterZ 2 and talking about the roster that I created as well as my friend Soul. Of course, big shout out to him again. But real quick, I just want to say thank you guys so much for all the love, support, the feedback, the comments, everything you guys have done for the latest video of the Dragon Ball FighterZ 2 roster that I made. I had a lot of fun making it. I'm glad you guys liked it. Again, thank you guys so much. But today, we're going back into reality, which is, of course, Dragon Ball FighterZ. Now, today, we're going to be talking about the top 5 characters who need nerfs in Dragon Ball FighterZ. Of course, this is a video long overdue. I wanted to make this pretty much as soon as we got the update about the update coming out for FighterZ. Now, I did make a video addressing that update and just talking about it, but today, I wanted to go into more detail. And I'm pretty sure at this point, we all know who needs the nerfs. And that is why I'm going to be doing a top 5 today. We'll be starting at number 1 and going to number 5. So let's go ahead and get started with the very first character. Now, I have never seen a character like Lapco21 almost destroy a game like she has. Now, I'm someone who is definitely somewhat relatively new to the FGC because I don't really get into fighting games. I've only gotten into fighting games because of Dragon Ball FighterZ. Now, of course, I've played fighting games before that, and I just, touched them here and there, but I've never really gotten into them like I have before with Dragon Ball FighterZ. So, speaking with my experience, I've never seen anything like this happen before. Pretty much as soon as she was added, everybody thought, alright, this is not good. She needs to be ran in every single team. I think almost every pro immediately said, yeah, she needs to be on your team 100%. And with that happening, it ruined a lot of diversity and creativity with a lot of teams. So now you just get to see the same characters over and over and over again. And I know fusions were still heavy even before she came out, but regardless of that, she still just became a very big problem. So now that is why she needs a nerf, and we all know what nerf she needs. Her level 1 command grab is one of the most broken supers in the game. And of course, we've all been there and done that. We've either used it or of course have been hit by it. Now, we all know what this thing does. If you land this super, which 90% of the time you will, decrease your opponent's damage by 21%, and of course, you get to buff your own special damage by 21%. Not only that, but it's invincible on frame 4. So in this case, it's pretty much a unreactable grab. She has so many ways of getting you with this command grab, with block strings, DHCing into her super, stomping and going into her grab, a million lows that she has to open you up, and of course, just doing a raw level 1 to grab you. And of course, there's many other ways of getting this landed, but I'm just giving you an example of how easy this really is to get. And not only that, but it's so easy to get the meter to even use the super. It only takes 1 bar to use, so you don't even have to really work for it. And now I know you're thinking, Connor, how are we going to nerf this move? The way I see it, there's about 3 ways to do this. The first one, of course, is if she dies, then all of the nerfs are gone. The second one is just getting rid of the buff and nerf altogether. And the third is to bring down the nerf and buff amount. So instead of the crazy 21%, it goes down to at least 10% or 5%, something that's very small and not so drastic. And one last thing I want to see adjusted is her frame 1 anti-air. The hitbox on that thing is ridiculous. The fact that it can hit you from behind her just doesn't make any sense. So if they can just sim that down just a little bit, I think that'd be a lot better. And so the last thing I want to see nerfed is, of course, well, okay, so right here on my phone, the last thing I have is destroy her. And so now we're going to be moving on to the next character. 21 lab coats out of the way. We talked about her. She's done. We're done with her. Next up on the list is someone who I think everybody also hates, is Vegeta Blue. We know this guy's been a menace for far too long. Now everybody has really seen this guy's true potential, and now he's probably, no, he is top 5 in the game. Now for me, I only have 2 things that I would like to see nerfed on this character. And we all know what that is. It's that one thing that's just a little too fast. That one punch that's just a little too fast. Just revert to 5M. That's all I'm asking. Just revert that and we're okay. Alright? It's just too fast. It went from 12 frames to 9 frames. And this thing is a curse. It should not be allowed. And lastly, I think his EX kicks should be somewhat toned down. The damage output on it is too high. So this is how I see it, right? If you're going to nerf Master Roshi's output for his 5H, then why not just nerf this? There's one other thing I didn't put on this list, but I do want to mention a lot of people are complaining about his A assist. At this point in time, it's probably one of the best A assists in the game, on par with Android 17's. Again, I didn't put it on the list of my nerfs for the character, but I have seen people talk about it, and I just wanted to make mention of it. And so with Vegeta done and dusted, now let's move on to the next one, which is going to be number 3, and that's going to be Z Broly. Ever since around Season 2 or beginning of Season 3, this character has been a nuisance to my entire life. I have hated this character. I've stated how many times I hate this character. I've said how many times this character is broken. I just despise him with a passion. But moving on from that, I do want to see 2 nerfs done to this character. One of them is going to be his level 3 scaling. Having double level 3 and not having much drawback from the damage is insane. We've all seen how they nerfed Super Saiyan Goku's level 1 to level 1. He does no damage doing it. So the fact Z Broly can get away with doing a double level 3 and pretty much doing somewhat of the same damage on both of them combined is pretty nutty. So yeah, overall his level 3 just needs a little bit of scaling because I think it just does too much damage. And the last nerf I want to see going to the character is adjusting his armor. The amount of armor he gets with his moves is pretty ridiculous, and the fact that he has armor on his mediums and of course his command grabs makes it even worse.
Another bug for me to squash.
The best outcome for the armor is to make it so it breaks easier. That way the armor is still there and it still applies itself, but it's not as strong as it is. So that's about it for Z Broly, but with that being said, let's move on to the next one, which is number 4, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Gogeta 4 has about 3 nerfs that he can be hit by. Of course, the one that a lot of people are talking about is the EX Lariat. As many of you guys know, EX Lariat can go through projectiles and of course level 3s. It's very fast, and once you land it, you can combo off it. So I believe the best way to nerf this move is what Cool Kid 93 said. If you compare the light version and the medium version has the distance of the EX, but the light version has a very small distance. He was suggesting that the light and medium versions stay the same, but the EX version gets the length of the light version. So it can still go through projectiles and level 3s and such, but it has a decreased range. And to me, that actually sounds a lot better than just completely destroying the move itself. Now, the next one I want to talk about is something that I have a problem with the character. Now, I'm not sure a lot of people see eye to eye with me with this one, but I feel like his level 3 insta-kill should take about 7 bars to use. It is so easy and simple to get to level 7 and then using the level 3 insta-kill because it's only a level 3. There are so many easy ways to get to level 7 by just doing block strings, by doing your staggers, killing someone and doing it right there. You can do it right before vanished, and especially if you have C assist. So there are many options to get to level 7. I just feel like it should actually take 7 bars to actually use the insta-kill. And the fact that you can keep doing insta-kill and not just only once in the game, you can do it many times. So you can make it to where it costs 7 bars to use the insta-kill, or you can make it to where you can only use it once per match. And lastly, a lot of people have said this, his auto combo. It is ridiculous. It is pretty much a super dash repellent, and it's obnoxious. I mean, you could just sit there and mash it so much. Now, personally, I don't know how they could fix this move. I don't really have an idea as to what they could do to nerf it. And to be honest, since UI Goku's 5L has not been touched at all ever since he came out, and we all know it's a problem, I don't think they're going to touch this guy, and I think that's okay. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below if you guys want to see that nerfed, or maybe you just want to keep it the same. And with the Goku and Vegeta fusions all done and dusted, now we are going to be going to the last fusion of this nerf, and that's going to be number 5, Zamasu. And I know what you're saying,
Connor, what's Zamasu? What's wrong with him? He's not that bad.
I agree, but there are some complications. Before I get into this, I do want to shout out to Basu, my buddy, because he is the one who kind of helped me with this one, to be honest, because I'm not a Zamasu player. I am not a Zamasu enthusiast, nor is he, but he knows a lot more about the game than me, so I went to him. One thing I did know about Zamasu, though, and I have actually experienced this myself, because when I was using him, I noticed that this was happening. His 2H goes through projectiles and beams, and that is nutty. So that's one thing I think that needs to be toned down quite a bit. And the next thing that needs to be nerfed, and it's the last thing that needs to be nerfed, is his flight. And one thing that I've somewhat noticed, but mainly my friend Basu has noticed, is that his flight time is way too long. He can stay up in the air for a total amount of 8 seconds, which is incredibly good. And so I think it should be dropped down to at least 5 seconds.
This is divinity!
His flight right now allows for constant hang time for flight into 236H, which most of the time gives you a free shot at someone. If it were dropped to 5 seconds, he wouldn't have that luxury of just hanging in there and waiting and going for these 236Hs to get that free shot at you. For Basu and I, those are the only 2 nerfs that Zamasu technically needs. And with all that said and done, those are the top 5 characters that need nerfs in Dragon Ball FighterZ for the upcoming patch. If there's anybody else you guys think should be nerfed, if you guys have a different opinion on these characters I've listed, please let me know in the comment section below. And of course, as always, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you guys want to see more of this, like, subscribe, and of course, I will see you guys next time. Peace.